Want to master SwiftUI, Firebase, login and sign up the easy way? In this tutorial, I'll show you how to build a complete app with Async Await, made simple for you. This is the app we will create. The user's credentials are stored in Firebase. We will now navigate to Firebase URL. At the moment, the authentication table is empty. There's no users in the table at the moment, but this will be populated later on. To demonstrate this feature, I will now create a new user's account. So to create a new user's account, we need to click on the sign up button. I'll just create an account. Password, I'll just enter test 123. Test 123 to confirm. Click on sign up. As you can see, when I refresh the browser, you'll see that there's a user that's been created within Firebase now. After creating a new account or logging in, the user is then navigated to the new contact screen that will allow the user to create a new contact, but that will be implemented in later tutorials. The user can also manage their accounts, such as sign out or delete the account. So if I click on sign out, I will be redirected to the login screen. Now I will log back in. I think the password was test 12345, or maybe it was test 6 at the end, or was it 123? Yes, it was test 123 for the password. Now I'll demonstrate that the user can delete their accounts. So if I show the browser again, you will see that it has one account in the browser, which is within the authentication table within Firebase. Just loading at the moment. So there's one account. So now I'll delete the account. And then I will refresh the browser. As you can see, the user has been deleted from Firebase Authentication database table. So this is the tutorial we'll be creating. Don't forget to subscribe for more Swift and SwiftUI tutorials. After you have created your new Xcode SwiftUI project, the next thing you need to do is to navigate to Firebase console as seen in the browser, which is console.firebase.google.com. And then we need to create a brand new project within Firebase. So just click on create a Firebase project. And then we need to name our project. I will just name it as Firebase Login Tutorial. Click on continue. Continue. Continue again. And then we need to choose or create a Google Analytics account. I'll just create a new account. I will give the account the same name as the tutorial. I'll just call it Firebase Login. Click on save. Select your location. Accept the terms. Click on create. Then we have to wait a few seconds. Click on continue. The next thing we need to do is to add Firebase to our app. Since we're focusing on iOS, SwiftUI, we need to select the iOS. Click on iOS button. And then within the Xcode project that we created a few minutes ago, we need to locate our Apple Bundle ID. To access your bundle ID, click on your project file, which is the blue one at the top. Click on General, and then the bundle identifier is, I think it's here somewhere. That's in sign in and capabilities. So just select the entire string. And then we go back to Firebase console. And then we paste our Apple Bundle ID into the text field. I think that one's being used, so I better change it. The Apple Bundle ID was already being used, so I need to change it. So let's change it to something unique, which is Firebase Login Tutorial. I'll copy it again. And then within the Apple Bundle ID field, I just replace the previous one that was there. App nickname, that's optional, so we can ignore that. Apple Store or App Store ID, we can ignore that also. Click on Register App. That will register it within Google Firebase. And then we need to download the Google Service Info plist. Click on the next button. Click on next. Click on next again, as we'll be implementing the code later. Click on continue to console. The next thing we need to do to enable authentication within Firebase, we need to click on build on the left hand side, which is here. And then we need to select authentication. And then we need to click on get started within the authentication. And then we click on email and password. We have to make sure we enable email password. Click on the switch. And then click on save button. As you can see, it has created our authentication table that will be filled with users later, with usernames and passwords. The next thing we need to do is to drag the file that we downloaded a few minutes ago, which was the Google Service Info plist that should be saved within your downloads folder or maybe your desktop. So we need to locate that file now and then drag it into Xcode. It's within my downloads folder, so just drag it into your project. And then click on finish. And now we need to download the Firebase framework using Swift Package Manager. So we need to select File, click on Add Package Dependencies. Since I downloaded it earlier, as in a few days ago, it's already within my list. But if it's not in your list, just type in the following, which is this one here. http github.com Firebase -iOS SDK. And then we need to specify a version number, which is the exact version that I'm using is 10.29. The reason being, because at the moment I'm just using Xcode 15, and when I tried to use the later version, it came up with an error. Click on Add Package. And then it should start to download the package from Firebase. So the main package we'll be using at the moment is Firebase Auth, which is this one here. but just click on add package to add all of them anyway. And then it starts to download the packages with the dependencies from Firebase. The next thing we need to do is to create a new Swift file. The name of the Swift file is called Session Manager. The purpose of Session Manager is to enable the user to log in and to log out of Firebase. Select Swift file. Enter the name Session Manager. Click on Create. And then we need to import Firebase auth. So it found the libraries, the frameworks. If Firebase auth or nothing that doesn't relate to Firebase doesn't appear, that means Swift Package Manager did not install the libraries correctly. So you might need to perform the SPM procedures again. Observation at observable to detect any changes. Class session manager var is logged in equals false. To be lower O for logged in. Var display name, which is the user's name. Nil. Var user's email string, that can also be optional. Func login email string password string, which is a asynchronous procedure. Let auth result equals try await. Auth.auth .sign, that should be sign in. With email and password. So we'll be signing into Firebase using our email and password. Try await auth result .user .reload. The reason why we want to reload is because we want to have access to the user's name, display name, auth result .user .display name. User email equals auth result .user .email. So now we captured the display name and the email is logged in. Equals true. On line 5, we shouldn't have the bracket there. near observable. Should just be decorated like this. On line 15, we need to change the parameter labels. And then we just need to add a print statement just for testing purposes. Session manager. Display name. Display name. If the display name is unavailable, you just display nil as a string. Catch. Print. Login failed. Error dot localize description. The next function we need to create is your logout function. Try auth sign out is logged in is false because we have now signed out. Display name is nil. User email is nil. And then we can just attempt to show or capture any errors. Really, to display these errors on the UI, we need to throw these errors. But this tutorial is about Firebase, so that will be excluded in this tutorial on how to use errors. We'll just compile it now. Just compiling at the moment. Still compiling. Finally compiled. In the next tutorial, we will focus on the login new model that will enable the user to log in to Firebase. Don't forget to subscribe for more Swift and SwiftUI tutorials.